Ladies, let me tell y'all something. Now, I ain't here to start no arguments. I'm just here to tell the truth. The kind of truth you already feel in your bones, but needed somebody to say out loud. If a man is hiding another woman, there are some telltale signs. Some of y'all call it woman's intuition. Nah, baby, it's common sense with a side of hurt. So listen close. When a man is hiding another woman, the first and biggest red flag is how he starts treating that phone like it's a sacred object. I'm talking about a level of protection like he's guarding the last golden ticket to the chocolate factory. Now listen to me. I'm a man. I know how men operate. When we got nothing to hide, we don't trip over where our phone is. It might be on the kitchen counter, in the bathroom, on the bed, maybe even in your hands if you needed to check something real quick. We ain't losing sleep over it because there's no reason to. But when a man's got something, or more specifically, someone to hide, that phone becomes a fortress. You ever notice how he used to just toss his phone around, didn't care where it landed? Now it never leaves his pocket. Try reaching for it and he look at you like you just asked him for his social security number and a blood sample. You say, let me use your phone real quick. And he suddenly remember he got a top secret government file open. He's scrambling, making excuses, hitting buttons like he trying to deactivate a bomb. Hold on, it's dying, or I'm updating it, or the classic, I just used all the data. Girl, he lying, ain't no data, it's deception. Then there's the phone being on silent all the time. See, before, you'd hear it buzz, ring, ding, life was happening, but now, that phone is quieter than a mouse in church. Always face down, always on vibrate. And that face down move, that's a classic. Let me tell you why. Because men know the notification banner could be the snitch. He don't want you seeing, hey baby, pop up from Keisha or Tasha or whoever. Though he flips it like it's doing a trick. He doesn't even look surprised when it buzzes. Just calmly puts his hand over it like, that's nothing. Now, bruh, that is something. Because when a man's honest, he got nothing to cover. And don't even get me started on these passwords changing every week. You used to know the code. It was your birthday, your name, the dog's name, something cute. Now it's 19 characters long with letters, numbers, symbols, hieroglyphics. And when you ask about it, he act like you're accusing him of something. Why you need my password? Don't you trust me? Nah, why are you hiding it, sir? If you got a whole vault guarding your text messages, then yes, something's up. Let me make this clear. A man who is loyal and true does not need CIA-level encryption on his phone. If the man you love got more digital security than a bank, he's securing something other than just apps. Let's go deeper. It's not just about the physical phone. It's about how much attention he gives to it when you're around. He used to be focused on you. Now he's sitting across the table at dinner, screen lighting up his face like it's the main course. You talking, he scrolling. You laughing, he texting. You ask, who that? And he say, it's just work, always work. Funny how work keep texting him at 11:47 p.m. on a Friday night. Either he got a job in emergency services or somebody else got his attention. And if you ever catch him taking that phone into the bathroom for 30, 45 minutes, yeah, we all know what's going on. Ain't no man doing a full spa day in there. He's in there texting her, laughing, smiling, sending selfies. If he don't come out looking fresh shaved and detoxed, he wasn't grooming, he was hiding. A man doesn't take his phone to the shower unless he's got something to clean up digitally. You want to know the real truth? A man's phone will tell on him before he ever opens his mouth. If his behavior with his phone has changed, that means his priorities have too. When he keeps it locked, lipped, silenced, and clutched like it's gold, he ain't protecting you. He's protecting his lie. And if you try to talk about it, try to bring it up like an adult, and he gets defensive, dismissive, or tries to flip it back on you like you're the one being insecure, that's manipulation. That's guilt, trying to hide behind attitude. A good man, a real man, a faithful man, his phone is just a tool, not a secret. If you want to call your mama, he'll hand it to you. If you need to look something up, he ain't sweating it. But a man is doing dirt, that phone is off limits. It becomes his greatest liability. And let me tell you something else. A man who truly respects you is not going to put you in a position where you have to wonder. He will go out of his way to be open because he's not trying to lose a good woman over a secret. So don't ignore the signs, sis. The phone, that's not just a red flag. That's a flashing neon billboard. Let me tell you something that most women miss when it comes to relationships. Y'all always think that when a man stops arguing, he's growing. You start telling your girlfriends, girl, he done changed. He don't even raise his voice no more. You think it's maturity. You think he's evolving. No, ma'am, sometimes he's not evolving. He's disconnecting. See, when a man stops arguing about the little things, when he stops pushing back or engaging, a lot of the time it ain't peace, it's distance. It's emotional detachment. That brother ain't more enlightened. He's just checked out. Let me explain this real slow so you don't miss it. Men don't argue about what they don't care about. You hear me? If he used to get into it with you about your tone or the way you squeezed the toothpaste or why you were always running 5 minutes late, if y'all used to bump heads over things that seemed small, that's because at that point in time, he was still invested. That frustration, that little back and forth, that came from a man who still gave a damn. He wanted things to work. He wanted to fix something. He still felt the need to defend himself, to be understood. Now he don't say a word. He just nods, shrugs, says, okay. That ain't maturity. That's a man whose mind is somewhere else. Now some of y'all sitting there wondering, well, Steve, why would he stay if he don't care? Let me give it to you straight. Men don't always leave first. Sometimes they stay while they slowly fade out emotionally. Why? Because he doesn't want to deal with the breakup yet. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. Or maybe he's got another woman already feeding him the emotional connection he used to get from you. So now he don't have the energy to fight at home. He ain't passionate anymore because that fire's already been lit, just somewhere else. And when a man is hiding another woman, the last thing he wants is conflict in his main relationship. You arguing with him just reminds him of how peaceful it feels when he talks to her. That new woman ain't been around long enough to challenge him. She's just smiling, laughing at his weak jokes, sending him encouraging texts like, I'm so proud of you. Meanwhile, you're asking real questions like, where were you last night? And now, instead of engaging like he used to, he just shrugs it off. That's not growth. That's guilty. You ever notice how some men start acting like they too tired to talk? You say, babe, we need to talk, and he sighs like you just asked him to climb Mount Everest. Not this again. I'm not in the mood. Or the classic, I don't want to argue. See, back when he was fully present, you couldn't shut him up. He had something to say about everything. Now, silence. That's because his focus and his feelings are split. He's rationing out his emotional energy. You get what's left after he's already poured into someone else. And here's what makes it even worse. Y'all start feeling guilty for trying to communicate. You start second guessing yourself. Maybe I am negging. Maybe I'm being too emotional. Let me stop you right there. You're not wrong for wanting to connect with your man. You're not wrong for wanting communication, consistency, or affection. You're not too much. You're just feeling the gap and trying to close it while he's widening it every day by choosing to emotionally check out and invest that attention somewhere else. But that's why when a man suddenly becomes calm during conflict, you can't always take that as a good sign. Sometimes he's calm because, he don't care what happens next. He's already made peace with whatever outcome might come. You walking around thinking you won the argument because he ain't fight back, but that man is sitting there planning his exit. Or worse, he's already emotionally gone and just physically present. That's worse than breaking up. That's being in a relationship with a ghost. It's not always loud when a man starts slipping away. Sometimes it's real quiet. It looks like peace, but it feels cold. You can feel that chill in the room even when he's laying right next to you. You say something sweet and he gives you a generic answer. You try to be playful and he brushes you off. That ain't peace. That's a man who already let another woman sit in the space that used to belong to you. So don't fall for that false calm. When a man used to fight with you, it wasn't about winning, it was about caring. If he stops fighting, stops reacting, and just shuts down every time you speak up, that's not growth. That's distance. Emotional withdrawal is one of the clearest signs that he's giving his feelings to someone else and just keeping his body at home to avoid the consequences. You don't need to blow up, start yelling, or lose yourself trying to figure out where you went wrong. Just observe, pay attention. You'll know when a man has gone quiet because he's evolved, and when he's gone quiet because he's already left in his heart. You ever wake up one day and suddenly your man got a whole new attitude? Like out of nowhere, he started being extra sweet, buying your flowers just because, taking you out to places y'all haven't been in months, showing up with gifts or compliments that feel a little too rehearsed. See, most women get caught up in that. You think it's cute. You think, oh my God, he's finally changing. He's being romantic again. Baby, no, that ain't romance. That's recovery. That man ain't loving you more. He's just guilty as hell. Let me tell you something about men. We are not complicated creatures. When a man is happy and committed in his relationship, he ain't got to go over the top all of a sudden just to prove it. He shows it in little ways every day. His presence, his attention, his effort. But when a man steps out and he's doing something he knows damn well he shouldn't be doing, guilt starts to creep in. Guilt will make a man act right for about 2 weeks, not because he's changed, but because he's trying to cover his tracks. You start getting gifts, unexpected dinners, random I love you texts. And the first thing you do is tell your girls, girl, he's turning into the man I always wanted. No, sis, that man is trying to overcompensate. He's trying to throw you off the scent. He's doing damage control before you even know there's been damage. See, most men don't confess. They try to distract. And what better way to distract a woman than by giving her everything she's been asking for? You ever notice how he gives you that you're the only one treatment right after a day where he's been shady? Like all day he wasn't answering his phone, but now he's at home rubbing your feet and telling you how lucky he is to have you. That's not love. That's fear. Fear you're going to figure it out. Fear you're going to look through that phone. Fear you're going to ask that one question that he can't lie his way around. So instead he floods you with love. He's trying to get ahead of the explosion. If he keeps you happy, maybe you won't start asking questions. And don't think it's always about the money either. Some of these men don't even have a lot to spend, but suddenly they doing little things, making breakfast, calling you baby 10 times more than usual, remembering random details you told him 3 months ago. You think he's just being thoughtful? No, he's being strategic. Guilt turns even the laziest man into a temporary romantic. You get breakfast in bed, not because he's changed, but because he did something dirty the night before. Let's keep it real. No man wakes up and becomes brand new out of nowhere. People grow, yes, but growth takes time. When it happens overnight, that's not growth, that's panic. That man is trying to reset the scoreboard in his favor. He knows he's been distant. He knows he's been messing around, pulling away emotionally, being shady. Now he's trying to flood the relationship with sweetness to buy himself time. Time to clean up his mess. Time to delete messages. Time to emotionally settle back in while you relax and drop your guard. Now let's talk about timing. Pay attention to when he starts doing all this. If it comes right after a big fight, or after you called him out about something, or after he disappeared for a few hours, that's not affection. That's a man realizing you're too close to the truth. He sees that your intuition is kicking in, so now he got to throw you off, give you just enough affection so you question your own judgment. He wants you to think, maybe I was wrong. Maybe he's really just trying now. No, baby, you were right the first time. Your gut don't lie. Your heart just doesn't want to believe it. Here's what you got to understand. When a man is consistent in love, you don't have to wonder where it's coming from. It feels steady. It builds over time. It's not extreme highs and lows. But when a man is guilty, the love gets loud, real loud, loud enough to distract you from the silence that came before it. One week he's cold, the next week he's all in your face like he's trying to be on The Bachelor. You're not crazy. You're just catching the emotional whiplash of a man living two lives. And let me say this. If he truly loved you, if he truly respected you, he wouldn't be trying to buy your forgiveness in advance. He wouldn't be treating you like a guilt project, because that's what it is. A project, a checklist. Flowers, check. Dinner, check. Sweet text, check. That's not love. That's damage control. That's a man trying to keep both situations afloat without letting either one crash. So next time he shows up with flowers and you weren't mad or sad to begin with, just stop for a second and ask yourself, what changed? What's he trying to fix that you haven't even discovered yet? Because sometimes that man isn't giving you love. He's giving you a distraction from the truth. Now listen, ladies, if there's one thing that'll expose a man who's hiding another woman, it's how he suddenly starts protecting his time like it's under federal law. You used to know his schedule down to the hour. Work, gym, dinner, everything lined up. You'd call and he'd answer. You'd text and he'd hit you back. You knew where he was. And more importantly, he wanted you to know. That's what a committed man does. He keeps his time open to you because your presence in his life is part of his routine. But when he starts seeing another woman, the first thing to go is access. And he'll do it in ways that sound logical, but don't feel right. All of a sudden, he's busy. Not regular busy, mysteriously busy. He's got meetings that weren't there last month. He's staying late at work more often. He starts saying he needs me time. Or he's trying to focus on his goals, but those goals never include you. And the worst part, he starts acting like your questions are attacks. You say, hey, what happened to date night? And he fires back. Why are you always on me? I can't have 1 week to myself? Nah, bruh. We ain't mad that you need space. We mad that space got real specific all of a sudden. And it always seems to show up on Friday nights and weekends. You're not stupid. You know what that means. The same man who used to FaceTime you every morning now don't even reply to your good morning text till noon. That man used to complain when y'all didn't spend enough time together. Now he's making up reasons why you should understand that he's unavailable. What he really wants is for you to stop asking questions so he can keep moving the way he's moving. And 9 times out of 10, He's moving toward another woman. And I don't care what excuse he gives you. I've been tired, I've been overwhelmed, I've been stressed. No man pulls away from the woman he loves just because he's tired. If anything, a good man leans into his woman during hard times. But when a man starts hiding, emotionally or physically, that's not stress, that's a cover. Now pay attention to how hard it becomes to make plans with him. Used to say, let's do brunch Saturday, and it was a yes without hesitation. Now, he got to check his schedule. What schedule? You've been dating this man for months. You know he ain't got nothing going on that wasn't going on last week. But now he needs to see how the week plays out. Girl, no. He trying to make sure his side situation don't conflict with yours. He's playing calendar Jenga, trying to stack one story on top of another without it falling apart. And when you get upset, when you finally say you're never around anymore, now you're too demanding, he flips it back on you to avoid accountability. That's manipulation, not maturity. And here's another clue. He becomes inconsistent with the time he used to give freely. One week he's all in. The next week he disappears. He'll have a stretch of being present just long enough for you to drop your guard, then boom, back to ghost mode. You try to talk about it, and now he's suddenly confused about where he is emotionally. That man ain't confused. He's just trying to keep both women happy without making a full decision. You're dealing with a man who's treating his relationship like a job he don't really want but don't want to quit because of the benefits. He also starts protecting his whereabouts more than usual. You used to know when he was running errands. Now every time he steps outside, it's vague. I'll be back later. I'm just out handling some things. What things? Who's there? Why can't you call him when he's there? And if you do, he's either rushing off the phone or saying he can't talk right now. When a man is faithful, his time is open to you. You may not be with him all day, but you're in the loop. A man who's hiding something always keeps you slightly out of it. Not too far where you start questioning everything, but just enough to keep you unsure. That's the key. They want to keep you guessing so they don't have to lie directly. It's avoidance wrapped in distraction. Even the way he acts when he's with you starts to shift. He used to look relaxed, used to be fully present. Now when y'all spend time together, it feels rushed. He's checking his watch, looking at his phone. His mind ain't in the room. That's because he's constantly trying to manage two worlds, trying to make sure he doesn't slip up, doesn't say something wrong, doesn't get caught in a routine he's accidentally duplicated with somebody else. A man in love isn't this tight. He isn't this guarded. But a man living a double life is exhausted, and you can feel it. So when his time starts disappearing, when your moments together start shrinking, when access becomes harder and harder to get, don't brush it off. Don't tell yourself maybe he just needs space. Space doesn't look like disappearing acts and emotional dodging. Space doesn't come with guilt and distance. A man who loves you won't make you fight for his time. He'll protect it for you. And if he's not, then someone else already is.